We welcome you back aboard the Hokie Sports Insider podcast. You know, it's not every day two things happen. Number one, an Olympian who's a Hokie decides to join the podcast. That's pretty cool. And number two, we've done over 100 episodes. I'm pretty sure, folks, this is the first time we've ever zoomed in with someone who's not in the country as we record this podcast. One's in Blacksburg, Virginia. One is in Spain. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Sami Hill joining the show. Sami, I guess good afternoon, I should say to you right now in Spain. Is that right?
Yeah, afternoon, almost evening. It's about 4 here, so.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here. How in the world would you describe how 2024 has been for Sami Hill?
Yeah, 2024 has been a whirlwind. The height of my basketball career, was fortunate enough to be on the Canadian women's basketball Olympic team, so I was in Paris. But yeah, that's what I've been working for a long time, so it's pretty amazing for that to finally come true.
So it's so well documented, the trials, the build up to the Olympics, and then of course the actual event itself. Once it's over, what's it like coming home, and what do you do after getting home from being gone and preparing for so long for that event?
Yeah, it was so strange when it ended because it felt like there was, as you said, such a build up every day. Your focus is on the Olympics, whether it's practice, game, training, or I was just with the team for so long this summer that when it ended and I went home, I was like, oh, like I don't even know what to wear or what to eat. Like I'm so used to being told or having to wear Canada stuff, basketball stuff, Olympic stuff, and then all my meals are ready for me. And I just got home. I was like, oh, I don't know how to be a normal person anymore. But it was great. It was such an amazing experience, and yeah, wouldn't change it for the world.
All right, how long did you have in Paris before opening ceremonies? Was it about a week? Like how long did you end up being over there for?
Yeah, so we left Canada, I think, on July 5th, but we went to Belgium first, then Spain, then Paris or France because we were in Lille. But I think we got to Lille, oh, I don't even know, maybe a week before the first game,
And I'm sure
but
it felt
away
like
from home for a while.
an eternity being out there, right?
Yeah, an eternity, but also it went by like this. We're like, oh, our first exhibition game is beginning of July. We have so much time before the Olympics, and then the next thing you know, it's over and you're headed home.
Yeah, I don't have the stat in front of me, but I'd be willing to say that maybe only 1% of people in the world get to say they're an Olympian or something like that. Was there a moment where it fully hit you that I'm an Olympian and I'm living out my dream? Has it hit you yet? Has it really sunk in?
Um, I don't think it's really hit me because I think the same with the actual tournament, there was so much build up to this and there was so much time for me to prepare and my focus was always on it. It wasn't just like one day I randomly got a letter in the mail and they're like, "Hey, you're going to the Olympics." And then so especially for team sports, you don't have a qualifying time, you don't have one race where it just happens for you. So there are so many tryouts, so many training camps and tournaments, and then you kind of have an idea if you're on the roster, and then the roster officially gets named. And to me, that was more like a relief,
Mhm.
just knowing that that part of it was over, and then I can really focus on the games. So there wasn't like an, oh my God, I'm an Olympian. But I think maybe it'll happen when I'm done playing basketball because as you said, I'm always on the go. So I'm just like next, 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 next. But it's amazing. I mean, I can feel that my basketball dream has come true, but I'm still just on the move, going, going, going. So
Well, and trust me, I want to document here just how go you've been by the end of this to fully paint the picture for our tech fans listening right now. But you mentioned that the relief of making the roster, and I know, trust me, of talking to so many tech fans. I mean, they follow your career, they're dialed into what's going on,
yeah.
and for you to make the team this year after being an alternate in 2020. Can you just put into words, I mean, what it meant to finally get this moment that you've been working so hard for to represent your country? What that feeling was like, how to handle 2020 and then to get this moment like you did in 2024?
Yeah, so 2020 was definitely hard being so close and being the last one of the last, there were two alternates. So last two people told that you're coming to the Olympics, but as soon as game starts, you head home and we actually get to go play the games. So that was super, super tough. But the Canada basketball environment's pretty amazing. Like it still felt like it was my team competing at the Olympics. I just unfortunately wasn't on it. And I think that was a good way for me to look at it, to make it easy for me to keep coming back to the national team and keep the dream alive. So it was definitely a relief when I was told I would be playing in the games this time instead of heading home, and just so much excitement and yeah, just the feeling that everything I've done leading up to it has finally paid off, rather than knowing I tried so hard and it just wasn't working out for me. So yeah, the meeting I had when they told me I would be on the team officially was a good one for sure.
That's awesome. I think for so many people who watch the Olympics this year, and maybe this is just me, but the 2020/21 Olympics, obviously coming off the heels of COVID, was a little bit different. It was a little bit delayed. And this year, I mean, just every time I turned it on, there was such excitement and joy. It just looked like the place to be, like one of the coolest Olympics that I can remember watching in my
Yeah.
lifetime. For you competing in it, did it feel that way for you guys there? And I'm just going to ask a general question, like what was the coolest part of the entire experience for you? Go whatever direction you want.
Yeah, I think the coolest part for me was walking out onto the court for the first time. And as you said, there was so much hype around the Olympics. You could feel it in the cities and then in the arena. I mean, our first game was against France, so that was double excitement and double hype. But you walk out into the court, you see the rings hanging, the French flag on one side, Canadian on the other, and the arena is just packed. I don't know the exact number, but somewhere between 15 and 20,000 people there to watch the first pool game of women's basketball in Lille. So not even Paris. We were 2 or 3 hours outside of the city. And it was just in that moment, maybe that was my moment. I was kind of like, wow, like I'm at the Olympics.
Right.
But then it was funny, as soon as I started warming up and the ref threw the ball for a tip, I was like, it's a basketball game, and you kind of tune everything else out. But I would say walking out onto the court to start warm up, I was like, whoa, this is it.
I was going to ask you about that game against France because that had to be. You've played in some unreal environments before in your life. I'm sure some at Castle Coliseum and the ACC as well. But to be going and playing against the host in France in game number one, was that one of the more unique environments you've played in before?
Yeah, definitely, because there were so many people all for France. But you could see like random little red and white people in the crowd for Canada. We had a pretty good family and friends group, but yeah, it was pretty wild. And France ended up, they came second in the end, so it was a tough game, but it was just, yeah, it was incredible.
You bring up family and friends, assuming they made the trip over there and you got to experience this with them a little bit.
Yes, I did. My parents came, my sister came, my husband and his mom came as well. So I had a good crew over there.
That's so cool. We've got Sami Hill. She's gracious with her time, joining us from Spain here on the Hokie Sports Insider podcast, talking about her Olympic experience. We'll get to her Virginia Tech experience here in just a moment. Another moment that seemed so surreal was the opening day ceremonies and just the rain that was coming down, everyone on the boats. What was that like to take in?
Unfortunately, we didn't go to the opening ceremonies. Yeah.
Did
So
not okay.
we
Wow.
were in Lille, and our team made the decision not to go because it would have been the few-hour bus ride all day out on the boats and few-hour bus ride back. And we had a game maybe the next day or next 2 days. And so they decided it would be better for us to stay in Lille, practice, and watch from the TV. But we did our own little DIY ceremony where we put on the outfits and walked out when they called Canada.
Uh,
But I heard it was crazy.
you stayed dry, right? I mean, it looked
We
like everyone
did.
was just getting crushed with rain. And I'm sure too of all the swag you have in your life, like the Olympic swags from Canada, that's got to be some of the coolest stuff, right?
Oh yeah, it's super cool. Super cool. Some of the stuff I'm like, I don't know if I would wear this casually down the street, but I will definitely be keeping it forever.
Mentioned that you're joining us from Spain right now, so you get back in what? I mean, late July, early August, and then boom! I mean, your professional season is starting on Saturday for Tech fans. I know they follow your professional career. Did you feel like you got a chance to catch your breath at all, or has it just been go, 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 Olympics right back into the professional ranks?
Yeah, more or less Olympics right back into professional. I think I got home the second week of August, and I had to be in Spain on August 28th. But during the 2 weeks in between, I did absolutely nothing, which was nice. I was like, I'm not going to worry about training for preseason. I'll just leave that for when I get there. I know I'll be fine. But it was really nice to just disconnect and decompress for those 2 weeks. And now back at it, which I'm more than happy to be doing. So.
How have you enjoyed your experience with this team you're with right now in Spain?
Oh, I absolutely love it. This is my second year here. We have a really good coaching staff. The same core group of players came back from last year, which is a lot of fun. And the Spanish league is just one of the best leagues to play in. It's super competitive. The top 2 or 3 teams are really, really good in EuroLeague. And then after that, we're all pretty similar, which makes it a lot of fun. Every weekend you go out and compete.
How incredible that basketball has taken you literally all over the world. Do you ever think about that?
I do. Sometimes I'm caught up in the moment and I don't really realize what I'm doing or where I'm going until I talk to somebody who doesn't do the same thing as me. And they're like, you live in Spain for 8 months of the year. You go to all these different places in the summer, just playing basketball. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is pretty cool, but definitely incredible and where sports and basketball for me can take you.
Well, and hard to believe, what, 7 years ago was the last time you put on a Virginia Tech uniform? Is that right? It's been 7 years since you were in college?
Yeah, 2017 graduated.
Does it feel like it's flown by, or does it feel like 7 years really have gone by?
I would say both. Like, I can't believe I've been playing pro for 7 years, but at the same time, I look back and I'm like, it feels like so long ago. I was in Blacksburg playing, but no, I do miss it. And I watch as many games as possible so I can still feel connected, but it does feel like a while ago. Definitely miss it though.
When you look back on it all, and I want to dive into some of the moments of your career, what are some of the favorite memories you have about your Virginia Tech career?
There are a lot. I mean, we had some tough seasons overall. Like Virginia Tech as a program has grown so much since I've been there, and it's super exciting to follow. But I loved all 4 years there, had a lot of fun with my teammates. I would say when I look back, I remember a select few wins, but I really remember more like my group of seniors we had. We were super close friends and still are. And then just all the years, different teammates coming in and out, different coaches, and it was just a really enjoyable place to be, whether we were winning or unfortunately losing some games. But I don't know, even when you were there, it was just a place you wanted to be. So I'm really thankful for that. And looking back onto it, I have nothing but good memories.
You know, your senior year, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys started 15-0. You were on that team, right?
I was, yeah. Coach Brooks's first season. Mm-hmm.
And was that the Tennessee win? Was that part of the 15-0 start? Or was that the year before?
We got Tennessee both years. We've got Tennessee in Tennessee my junior year, and then we beat them at home my senior year as part of the 15-0 start.
I remember that was an awesome game. That was a really, really fun one. Anytime you get Tennessee, it's a big deal.
I know. I would say those 2 games are up there on my memory list for sure.
Well, I think about all that this program has accomplished over the last 10 years. I mean, your group and your class, I mean, really, I think, really helped lay the foundation for the future success, the ACC championships, the Final Four run. Is it kind of cool to look back on it? And then, like you said, there might have been some tough times, but the way that you left the program, knowing that you kind of helped leave it in such a good place that allowed for such success to follow.
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely good to look back on. And I know my senior class, we fought through a lot. So I would say we're definitely proud of where the program has come today. And, you know, we definitely wish we could have been on those teams that were Final Four ACC champs. But as I said, nothing but good memories looking back, and super proud to be a part of the building block.
All right, from your perspective, a great watching that Final Four team in 2023. What made that team so good, and what was it like watching Liz Kitley for 4 years do what she did at Tech, Sami?
Oh wow, she was amazing. And even here in Europe, I'll play against some people, and one of our post players kind of has some of the Liz Kitley moves. And so the other day she was like, "Wow, your post player's like Liz Kitley." I was like, "That's my school." But no, it was amazing to watch what she did. And I just think that team had such good chemistry, and they all knew exactly what they needed to do as individuals and as a team to get the job done. And it was really fun basketball to watch.
I know you haven't had a chance to come back because you've been really busy, but it's been a busy 6-7 months for the program, with Coach Duffy coming in and her staff and the energy that she's brought. Have you gotten a chance to kind of watch content on social media? Watch her. Just do you have any general thoughts on Coach Duffy and what she brings to Virginia Tech?
Yeah, I'm super excited to watch what she does with the program. I was on an alum call in the summer where she talked to us about her thoughts on the program now, where she wants to go with it and everything. And I'm super excited. I know she's a great basketball coach with what she did at Marquette. And I know she has a solid group of girls right now ready to get going. And they're fun to watch on social media. And hopefully I'll be able to catch some games depending on the hour this year. But yeah, I'm really excited. And Virginia Tech, we're always in the fight. I'll say that. But yeah, really looking forward to watching Coach Duffy and what she does
I
with
didn't
the
even think
program.
about that. When games tip off at 7 o'clock Eastern, it's like what, 2 or 3 in the morning in Spain?
Yeah, it's at 1. So sometimes, if I'm up, I'll catch the first half, but I definitely like the Sunday noon games or Sunday 2 p.m. games.
All right, so a couple fun ones here to close. What's the one place, if you could be back in Blacksburg right now and you just want one meal or one place to go, where are you going?
Ooh, one meal. I would say I would go to PK's. Is PK still open?
Of course, of course.
PK's for buffalo chicken dip
Great
and a
call.
pizza. And unfortunately, one of my favorite places, Big Al's, closed. So I'd probably go to Tots
You know,
for
you know,
after my PK's meal.
it's fun. I'm going to show my age a little bit because I got the tech in the fall of 17. I graduated in 2021. The class just before me, so like your class, everyone talks about Big Al's. Like I feel like I missed such a huge part of my Blacksburg Tech experience.
You definitely did. It was the place to be. Any night, anytime, Big Al's.
And when you come back for PKs, they have completely redone the back patio. It's
Oh,
closed. It's got TVs. It's like they've done a really good job. Sharky's has just renovated to get an upstairs now.
I
Like
saw
there's
that.
a lot going
Sharky's was good too.
on.
I
Well,
can say this now that I graduated, but
yeah, exactly. You don't have to.
maybe I went too much, but it's okay.
In 7 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fabulous. I know you're busy again. We're recording this on Wednesday. Your season starts on Saturday. Amongst all the craziness, so appreciate your time. I know Tech fans listen. Believe me, I'm telling you, from the the Hokie fans, the ones that show up at
Yeah.
every single game, they are locked in. They follow you. They ask about you, and so thank you for taking the time. Congratulations on all of your success, and I hope to do it again sometime soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And I can't wait to get back to Blacksburg, watch some games live and see all my Hokie Club friends again.
There you go. That's Sami Hill. That's going to do it for season 4, episode 5 of the Hokie Sports Insider podcast, proudly presented by Phillips Real Estate.